video, I'll be dealing with the applications of boranes. Okay, so let's begin with the applications of the boranes. Here are certain applications, that is your synthetic applications of boranes. Here inside this application you have to study certain preparation, like preparation of an alkanes, alkenes and so on. Okay, so if you are taking in the first thing, that is your first step, first application, that is your preparation of a alkanes. When an alkene is treated with the borane and then a trialkyl borane is obtained, and again upon treatment with the propanoic acid, upon heating the alkane is formed. Okay, this is your first example. And then moving on to second, if you are taking the nitro substituted alkene, nitro groups are not getting affected, it is not getting reduced in presence of boranes upon treatment with the THF or heating in the presence of your propanoic acid. Then again this alkene bond is getting reduced to give you the alkanes. Okay, so moving on to next, the protonolysis will take place as follows. So here what happens, when an carboxylic acids, this is your benzoic acid, it is treated with the trialkyl borane. So what happens here, the oxygen which is having a lone pair of electrons from the benzoic acid will just go and bind to the boron. So when it goes and binds, then oxygen will get a positive charge. Okay, so after the formation of the positive charge, here there is a shifting of the alkyl groups, that is your R group will go and attack to your H bond, that is your hydride of your hydrogen of your carboxylic acids. Okay, so when it goes and takes your hydrogen, this bond will shift and it will result you in the double bond, whereas this double bond will go and bind over here and it will neutralize the positive charge. Okay, this double bond will neutralize the positive charge of the oxygen atom. So what you will get? You will get back this structure with the cleavage of your RH. Okay, and then moving on to next point, that is your, if the trialkyl boranes is treated with the AgNO3 upon treatment with the base, in the presence of the base, it undergoes the coupling reaction, then a higher alkanes are obtained. Okay, same phenomena. Just you have to show that mechanism was not required, so I have not given here. And then in the next point, when an alkene undergoes a reaction with the reduction with the boranes in the presence of THF, then again the trialkyl borane is obtained, and again upon treatment with the AgNO3 upon base medium, then N-hexane is formed, that is your again a higher alkane. Okay, in this so here the preparation of the alkenes step, you are taking an alkyne. If when an alkyne is treated with the disamyl borane upon treatment with the THF, then this product is formed, this adduct, that is your substituted disamyl borane. And okay, and then again upon treatment with the CH3COOH, you are resulting in the cis alkene formation, syn addition which is taking place over here. Okay, and again if you are taking this ester substituted alkenes, here also similarly in the first step what happens, there is the attack of your or disamyl borane, and again by the on treatment with the acetic acid, this is product is formed. Okay, moving on to next, it is the preparation of the amines. Hence, when an trialkyl borane is treated with the amino compounds, and this amino compound is attached to the G, that is your any of the halides group, leaving group. Okay, so this nitrogen which is having a lone pair of electron will go and attack to the boron atom of your trialkyl borane, and then you will get back this structure. Okay, then the boron will get the negative charge, nitrogen will have the positive charge because it is having the 4 bonds in it. Okay, so after the formation of this structure, then what happens here is this bond, this nitrogen and the hydrogen bond, one of the bond will neutralize the positive charge. Okay, once it will neutralize, you are getting this adduct, and there is the migration, alkyl migration to the nitrogen atom. So one of the alkyl group will migrate to the nitrogen atom, and there is a cleavage of your G minus, cleaving group, leaving group, okay, gets cleaved out. So you will get back R2B NHR, okay. And again, upon hydrolysis step, what happens here is you will result in the RNH2 by the cleavage of your BOH3, okay. And you are going to remove the alkyl groups as well, that is, it will go in the form of your alcohols, all right. And then if you alcohols, or else if we are taking this as your halides group, that is your chloride and all, or it will go it as an alkyl halides, okay. And then moving on to next sorry, if we are taking the alpha pinene in, and then if you are treating it with the borane compounds on diborane in the treatment of your THF and your aminosulfonyl compounds in the aqueous medium, then these alkene groups are getting reduced with the formation of your amines, okay. And here if you will see in the next slide, that is a preparation of your alkyl halides. In the preparation of your alkyl halides, when an alkene is treated it with the BH3 or THF, then the trialkyl borane is formed, and again upon bromination and or in the base medium, then the boron is getting reduced and leading to the formation of your bromo substituted alkanes, that is your alkyl halides is formed. And here this is a regioselective reaction, and the halogen will add to the less hindered sp2 hybrid carbon. Just go through this point. And in the next, if there is a when it comes to the preparation of an alcohol, here you have to treat it with the peroxides, okay. So when in trialkyl borane is treated it with the peroxides, then the minus charge of the peroxide, that is O minus, will go and attack to the boron atom. When it will go and attack to the boron atom, and then the boron will gain a negative charge, okay. Once it will gain a negative charge, there is a alkyl migration, and the R group will go and migrate to the oxygen atom, and meanwhile there is a cleavage of your OH minus, okay. Once it will get cleaved out, then you are resulting a monoalkoxyborane, okay. This is your alkoxy group, monoalkoxyborane. And again, if you are treating with the second molecule of your hydrogen peroxide, this O minus will again go and attack to the boron atom. When it will go and attack, same process will take place, then you will result in dialkoxyborane. Again, upon treatment with the one more molecule of your hydrogen peroxide, and then the trialkoxyborane is obtained. Upon hydrolysis, you will result in the alcohols, 3 molecules of your alcohols by the cleavage of your BOH3 atom. So here you can see the preparation of your aldehydes and ketones. Once if we are taking the alkene substituted, that is your cyclohexenes, okay, phenyl substituted cyclohexene. So if you are taking that, upon treatment with the diborane in the presence of your THF, this alkene is getting reduced and it is substituted with the borane atom, and then again upon oxidation with the K2Cr2O7, and then this will this will oxidize by the formation of your ketones, that is your cyclohexanone, phenyl substituted cyclohexanone. And again, if you will see here, this alkene, in first it will undergoes reduction and there is a formation of your borane atom over here, and again upon treatment with the oxidizing agent, that is your chromium trioxide, then it will reduce to oxidize to your carbonyl compound, okay. And again, if you will see in the third example, if you will see here, or upon treatment with the desamyl borane in the presence of your THF, these alkenes are getting reduced by the addition of your hydrogen atom towards this side. Okay, and after the formation of your hydrogen, that is your alkene formation, and then upon treatment with the PCC, that is your pyridinium chlorochromate, upon treatment with that, this CH2 is getting reduced to your CHO. Alright. Then moving on to this reaction, that is your carbonylation and of organoboranes. So in this carbonylation of your organoboranes, when a trialkyl borane is treated with the carboxylium ion on okay, so here this minus charge of your carbon ion will go and attack to your boron atom. Then the boron will gain a negative charge, and oxygen, which is already having a positive charge. Okay, that is because of your 3 bonds in the oxygen. Then there is a alkyl migration. When this bond, this alkyl group gets migrated to the carbon atom, and meanwhile this bond will neutralize the positive charge of your oxygen atom, resulting you in the formation of your carbonyl compound. And after the formation of this structure, then again the second alkyl group goes and migrates. When this alkyl group and goes and migrates to the carbon atom, this C double bond O, this one of the bond will go and migrate, and it will shift to the rearranges to the boron atom, resulting you in the epoxide formation. Okay, after the formation of an epoxide, then there is again rearrangement reaction, that is a migration of an third alkyl group. This again migrates to the carbon atom. Meanwhile, there is a cleavage of this bond, that is the CO bond will get cleaved out, or this bond will just go shift to the boron atom between the boron and the oxygen, and it will gain the B double bond O, that is your trialkyl borane is formed. Okay, and again upon treatment with the hydrogen peroxide or hydrolysis step, you will get back your R3COH, that is your OH is formed. And then moving on to the reaction of the trialkyl boranes with the carbon ions. Here if you are taking the cyclohexene upon treatment with the diborane and or THF, then remember this we are taking it as an R group, that you can see it over here. Okay, so here the borane will go and attack to this hexene, that is your alkene form. When it goes and attacks, then you will result in this structure, the alkene bond is getting reduced. And then if you are treating it with the bromine BrCH2COH esters, bromo esters, if you are treating it with the bromo ester in the presence of the potassium tertiary butoxide, right, then what happens here is, remember this we are considering it as an R group. This whole we are considering this as an alkyl group. Don't get confused. Okay, so when it is treated with the bromo esters, then what happens here is, this bond shifts over here, and then it will generate one carbon ion on CH. First one of the carbon ion is generated, then that will shift and it will make it as a double bond on by the cleavage of your hydrogen atom from your bromo ester CH2 methylene group, and then this bond will shift and it will give you the O minus. Okay, then only there is the attack of your borane atom. Okay, so when the trialkyl borane will be present, and this molecule is activated first, and then this O minus will shift over here, and then the alkene will go and bind to the attack to the boron atom. When it goes and attack to the boron atom, this boron will gain a negative charge over here, and you are resulting in this structure. Okay, and after the formation of this structure, then again what happens here is, there is the alkyl migration. This alkyl group will go and migrate. So when this alkyl group will go and migrate, this alkyl group will go and migrate to the carbon atom. Meanwhile, there is the cleavage of your or bromine, that it will act as a good living group. And after the cleavage of your good living group, that is your bromine, will result in this structure. Or upon treatment with the tertiary butoxide, what happens here is this boron atom, borane, and will go in the presence of your tertiary butoxide as the boron tertiary butoxide, and okay, and then there is the formation of your one of the hydrogen atom. It will take one of the hydrogen atom, that it will become as a RCH2COOMe, and this is your cleavage. The R group, which is this, will be similar to this structure, just because preparation of the vinyl R group as your cyclohexane, and we are doing the reaction. Okay, so don't get confused with catechol borane. And so when you are treating it with the catechoborane, and or you can treat it with the this borane, this can be represented as this, that is similar to this. So when this will undergo reduction in the presence of this catechoborane, and then the trans alkene is formed. Okay, after the formation of the trans product, this borane will go and attack to the carbon atom and result in this structure. And again, upon bromination in the presence of the dichloromethane, and then there is the addition reaction. Okay, when you are doing the bromination, that is your addition reaction which is taking place, is so it will undergo addition to give you the bromo product. Once the bromo product is obtained, and again upon rotation, okay, when this side rotates, then what happens here is this borane will shift over here, this hydrogen will come here, this bromine will go towards this side, that is this bromine will come towards your front, and then hydrogen will be in the back, and borane will be in the same plane. Okay, so you will result in this moiety, and after the formation of this moiety, then this bond will shift, it will make it as an alkene, and there is a cleavage of your bromine, which is acting as a nucleophile. Good living group, not a nucleophile, living group. This will act as a nucleophile, that is your methoxide, OCH3 minus. As OCH3 minus will go and attack to the borane atom, so this bond will shift, make it as an alkene, and there is a cleavage of a good living group, resulting you in the Z isomer, that is your cis isomer. Okay, Z is your cis product, E is your trans product, remember this. Then again, if you are taking the this is your vinyl halide is formed of your Z isomer. Okay, and then when an alkyne is treated with the catechoborane again, and so here similarly what happens in the first structure, you will get this. Here the condition differs. Here you are taking the you are doing the bromination in presence of dichloromethane as your solvent. Here you are treating it with the water. Okay, that is your aqueous medium. So when it is treated it with the water, then this there is a formation of your BOH twice. Okay, and after the formation of your hydroxides over here, or upon iodination or in the presence of your base, that is your NaOH, then this whole thing will get substituted it with the I, that is your iodide. Okay, and will result in the, there is no rotation in this reaction. Okay, only the rotation will take place in the Z isomer, not in the E isomer. And then you will get back your E isomer as your product, that is your cis product. Okay, cis vinyl halides will be formed. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box.